Welcome to the Multisport Mojo podcast. Welcome all you triathletes, swimmers, riders, and runners, newbies and 10-timers, 8-hour finishers, or 16-hour survivors. We're age group gurus doing the homework, gathering the insights, answering your questions to make you faster, fitter, and fresher in multisport training, and especially on race day. I'm your host, Steve Harper, with Multisport Mojo and TriGearGuru.com, and alongside me is Ironman certified coach, my good friend, Kirk Taylor.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content. That's at Multisport Mojo. Like us on Facebook at Multisport Mojo. That's all one word. Follow us on Twitter at hashtag Multisport Mojo. And go to TriGearGuru for more content. If you're running, go to RunGearGuru.com. If you're biking, go to RideGearGuru.com. Swimming, go to SwimGearGuru.com. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, Try Hard Triathlon Coaching. Contact Try Hard on their Facebook page at Try Hard Coaching. AZRadio.live, right behind us. Your home for independent music artists. Musics. Your home for independent music artists. That's a good read. And Big Mike's Recording Studio.
Big Mike.
Contact Big Mike's Recording Studio at AZRadio.live and get all the polish of a professional recording studio at a price that fits your startup budget. Kirk.
Yeah.
This is National Burrito Day.
Oh, hallelujah.
Man, it's a national holiday in my home.
We're having burritos today, baby.
Yeah, right?
It's embarrassing the fact that I don't have one right now. I should be eating burritos now, now.
Soon enough. Hey, and to celebrate,
yes.
Not really to celebrate, I'm wearing a special shirt today. I'll see if I can get around. This is the inaugural, This is the second. No, I think this is. I'm thinking this is this is the inaugural because it was on a Saturday, and the very first Ironman Arizona was on a Saturday. So This is my Ironman Arizona shirt. 13 years ago, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
April of 2005.
It was on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. Now it's on a Sunday. It was in April. Now it's in November.
Yeah.
They've changed it up. Still in Tempe. Still a great race. Sign up for Ironman Arizona. Well, today...
Ironman Arizona is a tough one to sign up for. If you folks out there, kids, if you're thinking you want to sign up for Ironman Arizona, you either got to come in and volunteer, which is that's about how you have to do it now. You got to volunteer 1 year, and then you get a chance to register for the following year. Or you just got to be real quick on the draw when it goes live, if there are spots open.
Yeah.
No, it sells out. This is a real popular race.
Holy cow. Sells out. Right.
Oh,
Lots of races. Hey, today, speaking of triathlons, we want to talk about the top 5 mistakes in triathlon swim training.
Nice.
Right?
Yes.
And we're going to put a twist on it this week for our audience.
Okay.
You're the coach, and sir, you're the pro. I'm an age grouper, so I'm just a guy that just trying to do the right thing.
Hey, let's not make any mistake about it. I am an age grouper also.
Yeah, but you're
in
a
the
coach.
interest of full disclosure.
Right.
I don't wear a P on my calf.
You're not doing podiums. Listen.
Although I have stood on the podium at the end of a race. I actually have placed. I do have podium finishes to my credit.
See.
Yes.
Age grouper.
No,
I'm an age grouper.
True.
You're the coach. You're an Ironman certified coach. You are trained to know what to say and what to do.
So I had a podium finish as a weight class athlete, as the Clydesdale. I was in actually really good shape, and I was at 2:01, so I just barely made the Clydesdale cutoff.
Okay.
And I tore it up. It was a duathlon here in Arizona, and this was definitely a number of years ago. Yeah, one of my favorite pictures ever from a race was from this race. My number belt came off as I'm approaching the photographer. And so I'm sitting here fiddling with my number belt trying to get this thing on, and I'm starting to laugh because I see the photographer who's, trying to snap pictures and whatnot, and I'm passing up a couple of other athletes and, struggling with my number belt, and I just kind of start to laughing. And at the time, my thighs were just totally ripped. I mean, really cut. And the photographer snapped this picture as I'm laughing, trying to get my number belt on, and it just so happened that my legs were looking like amazing. And one of my favorite pictures ever. And I actually won the Clydesdale division, so I stood on the top podium for that race. I'm not kidding. I got a coffee cup out of it. I got this little medal. I think it was made out of metal, not plastic. And yeah, it was really cool. It was it was sponsored by Sweet Tomatoes. This was a thing years ago. Phoenix Triathlon.
Ironically sponsored by.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hey, let me tell you. Sweet Tomatoes.
You won the Clydesdale division in a race sponsored by Sweet Tomatoes by a buffet. And the picture you have, I want to see the picture. It's got you trying to get your number belt on.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
In the race that says Clydesdale division winner.
Yeah.
Sponsored with the Sweet Tomatoes logo. And your picture is trying to get your your belt.
It was like duel in the desert duathlon or something. It was a run.
Better.
It was a run, bike, run.
We may not ever let you live that down.
Oh man, it was such a great race. It was fun.
Yeah.
And I was like pulling off sub 7 minute miles.
Wow. Well, that's something I'm not surprised by.
So I mean, it was good. Now, obviously, for a lot of you out there, that's not that's not impressive at all. But for a kid that weighed 200 pounds, that's not bad.
Right.
Yeah, for an old man.
I know. I think you're superhuman.
Some fat old guy out there.
We think your training buddies think you're superhuman anyway. So
now,
that comes along with it.
The other thing that I felt a little bit bad about is that most of the people didn't believe that I was in the Clydesdale category. They thought I was cheating, right? That I weighed like 190 something or whatever. But it was true. 201. I was at 201.
You were official.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not going to race a weight class if I'm not, I qualify easily now, let's put it that way. Nobody's going to wonder these days. Oh, let's see here. He doesn't look much over 197, that guy. Yeah. No, but before we get to the topic of the day, the topic du jour, we got to talk about your experience in Carlsbad. Our man here got recognized.
Stop.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. This is cool. This is cool.
Are we starting to get around? Is Multisport Mojo, the Multisport Mojo podcast, picking up some steam?
Well, I don't know. I can see why people would not watch this, but watch you on your gear reviews. Yeah. Yeah. So Steve here is in California, takes his family out to the beach to do some beach camping. Super cool. And while he's there, he says, hey, let's hit up the Nike outlet store. Okay? So they head to the Nike outlet store. This is where you got to tell the rest of the story.
Well, and ironically, here, I'll hold this up.
Oh man!
Right, I I have to have a pair on. So I'm a huge fan.
Steve keeps wanting to display his clothing here.
Oh man!
Here's my shirt. Here's my shoe.
Thankfully, my shorts.
Hopefully, this is the last one.
So I'm curious. Wait, the girl. It's gonna rain. The girls want it. Well, I think it's nighttime, right? We're done camping. We want to go out and get some firewood, so we run up to Ralph's to get some firewood. On the way, there's the Carlsbad outlets. There's a Nike outlet. I love the Nike Zoom Fly racing shoe. The Nike Zoom Fly racing shoe for tempo runs and race day. I don't think it gets any better. And then you train with the Pegasus Turbo. There's my pitch on gear. Make that note. Pegasus Turbo for training. Use the Nike Pegasus Turbo, and then the Nike Zoom Fly for tempo runs and race day. So I go to see if they've got any on sale. Maybe I'll get lucky. And I walk in, and they've got, and here it is. Here's the Nike Zoom Fly. The Nike, right? It's ridiculous. It's got a carbon fiber launch pad in the sole, so it literally propels you forward. It's a ridiculous shoe. It's crazy light. I love it. I ran the St. George Marathon in it. Wonderful. So I go there thinking, I'm going to get lucky. I go to the clearance wall on the back.
Next up,
five pairs. Under $30.
You can actually see through this shoe.
They're great, right?
You hold it
so
up
I think they retail for $60, $70, $80, depending on where you're getting. I got them for under $30.
It's like it's made out of lace.
Right, so I'm on a high, walking up to the register. I've got five boxes of shoes. They're all the same, and the guy asked me, but nobody, what you got it? I said, listen, I feel like I'm stealing these. Like I just won the lottery. Like it's National Burrito Day. That's how I feel. He says, why? I said, these are the Nike Zoom Flies. And I start to go on a rant about why they're such a great shoe.
And I can get $150 a pair for these on eBay.
No, I just stocked up for a lifetime.
Yeah.
So he says, wow, I mean, we should get you to work in the store. Wait a minute. And then he looks at me, he does this double take and says, he says, why are you so interested? Well, this is what I do. I know this stuff. I've got a podcast. We've got websites. It's Multisport Mojo. He says, I knew it. I know you. I've seen that. Because he's a gear guy. He works in the Nike outlet. We were going back and forth on the shoes, and he was like, yeah, I know you. I've seen you. So, hey, all you Multisport Mojoers out there.
And to the guy at the Nike outlet in Carlsbad, this one's for you.
I love it.
Here's your shoe right here. Made it all the way onto the show.
What a smoking deal.
The Multisport Mojo
Maybe
show.
if I was riding high that
And if you want to see the other 4 pairs, they're listed on eBay right now for $149.
No, they're not.
Buy it now at $149.
No, they're not. Bad. They're in my closet. I think my wife would like me to sell them. I have a closet full of shoes in boxes, ready to run. Maybe that's why I do this. Good stuff at a great deal. Bam, is going to find my closet.
And we probably ought to, speaking of swimming then, if we're going to turn the gears and change it over to swimming, we got to have a shout out for the good folks that sent you a good.
It's a great idea.
Yeah,
wow.
Right?
You're on your game today. I think burritos, the fact that it's National Burrito Day
I'm
has
starving.
got you zeroed in. You're a little more focused than you normally would. That's really great. Hey, can I, just a Multisport Mojo shout out to New Wave. We this morning on our training swim donned our swimming caps. These are ridiculously soft and smooth. I've been wearing a tier cap and race caps. This is not your regular swim cap. It's like buttery soft. I got one
These
for
are the
Kirk
nice
and I.
swim caps.
Super nice. I put their so I wore their swim goggles today. They've got Revo lenses, crystal clear. Crystal, super comfortable. I think for me, everything that I've gotten from New Wave that they sent over, one consistent, everything is buttery soft, which is such a nice, right? I mean, everything fits great. Towel, buttery soft. Swim cap, buttery soft. Goggles, buttery soft when you put them on. The closest thing to them are the Tier Nest goggles.
Are you sure this isn't coming from a bakery? They're not making cookies?
Maybe not. So go to Swimwave or New Wave. Go to New Wave. Everything's online. Great products.
Yeah,
we
thank
really
you.
loved them. So we'll be doing some gear reviews. If you go out to the Multisport Mojo YouTube channel, you'll start to see some gear reviews here pretty quick. But you probably know them for the swim buoy. When you go open water training, they've got a swim buoy. It's got a clip buoy that hangs out the back. They've got a waterproof seal pocket for your phone and keys. Brilliant, I think. And then it helps you be seen. It helps you, if you've got to take a break, you can hang on to it. The New Wave swim buoy, and then they've got all kinds of stuff out there.
New Wave.
It's a good shout out.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about swimming. That gets us into a swimming mode. Top 10 triathlon swim training mistakes. A lot of number one most, I don't know, how would you say this? The number one thing that people are most anxious about, triathletes are most anxious about on race day, is the swim.
Prospective triathletes. Well, even people who have done triathlon.
I think it's
it's definitely the thing that people I think worry
Right.
about the most.
Right.
Yep.
Why do you think that?
Yep.
Why do you think?
Because most people aren't swimmers. Maybe you swim around, you splash around in the pool and whatnot, but it's scary because there's drowning. There's swimming, and then that drowning comes with that, right? And there's no drowning when you're running, and there's no drowning when you're riding a bicycle.
Yeah.
So I guess it's that. You're afraid that you're going to get stuck out there in the middle of the ocean or the middle of the lake or the river or whatever,
Sure.
and you're going to start to go down, and people are going to run you over, and they won't know you're drowning.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it.
I think when you run, that's the end of
The end of your
so
race.
You're dead.
Then
What happened to Kirk? He never made it out of the swim.
Yeah.
What? You never came in.
that would be bad.
What?
But hey, you're going to be a lot easier to find if something happens if you're wearing a wetsuit, because you're going to You float.
Yeah. Well, I think, on race day for the run, you've done runs. You've done long runs. On race day on the ride, you've done long rides. But I don't think enough of us get out into open water. I don't think enough of us wear the swimsuit.
Right.
Or the wetsuit as much. I
Yeah.
don't think enough of us do long, extended swims. So I think you get to race day and you think, oh man, I hope I can do this.
Right.
So we're
Yep.
going to talk about that today. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll do this in a fun way. I haven't seen Kirk's answers. He hasn't seen my answers. And we have our top 5 triathlon swim training mistakes, and we'll reveal them one at a time.
So here's. Do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
You go for it.
Okay,
You
so
go. You start.
top 5 swimming mistakes. Number 5. Here's the big reveal.
All right. What is it?
Doing too much too soon.
Okay. Explain.
I think sometimes athletes are prone to hop in the pool. You've never really swam before, or maybe you've been on a big long break, and you're thinking, I'm gonna go, I'll go swim for an hour, because you can run for an hour, or you
Right.
go out and bike for an hour easily,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So I'll just go do an hour-long swim, and then the next thing you know, you're just really sore for quite some time. So,
Yeah.
so just keep your excitement to a reasonable level when you first start. It's okay. You let's say you get in the pool and maybe you swim 300 or 400. Fine, whatever. Just because there's an emotional, mental component, a psychological component to this as well. And as you were saying, it is the biggest obstacle. It's the thing that athletes worry about the most, and especially prospective triathletes. By
Having
far.
not done it before.
Right. This is the thing they
Absolutely.
worry about the most, and
Yeah.
it's the reason why most people who are otherwise athletic, or who would go to a 5K, 10K, whatever, marathon, or who have no problem getting on a bike. This is the thing that keeps people away from triathlon, is the swimming. So just get in and do whatever you can do. I mean, and just keep it reasonable. You want a success. You want a success from day one. You do not want to get out of the pool feeling like, oh my gosh, I was drowning across the pool. Just get in, take it easy. Just do 25 at a time. Don't sit there and think, okay, I'm going to swim 500 here. Jump in and go. So
I like it.
there
Good
you go.
advice. Good advice. All right. I did mine. I should have put 5 to 1. I did 1 to 5, but this is really my number 5 answers.
Okay.
All right. So I'll hold this up.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
My reveal.
Oh wow! Look at Steve's number 5. Of course, a gear guy would say this.
So I think mostly maybe this has to do more with guys. I'm a guy, and so maybe I noticed it. I think you're in the wrong swimsuit. For training, I think we swam alongside a guy today that did this exact thing. He wasn't training for a triathlon, but we were in a lap pool, and this guy did the same thing. I started out in a lap pool not knowing any different, and I think many triathletes who are new do the same thing. They grab their Quicksilvers, they head to the lap pool, and they start going. Don't. Get yourself a pair of jammers. You need to reduce as much drag as possible. It's hard enough to start swimming, to start the workouts that you're talking about. It's hard enough. Get yourself a pair of jammers and reduce the drag. Jammers are the form-fitting, if you watch any swimming at all on television, they're the form-fitting swim trunks that take all the drag out. So that's my first piece of advice. Get yourself a
Beautiful.
pair of jammers.
And you get them that go down to about your knee. It's not like you got to get out there in your tiny little Speedo.
Right. But I'll tell you, last year at Ironman Arizona, at the Roka booth, shout out to Roka, I love their products, would love to try a wetsuit. I bought a Roka Speedo. Is that a Roka Speedo? A Roka, we say Speedo like we say Kleenex. We don't say tissue paper, we say Speedo. I bought a Roka little Speedo to try out.
Wow.
Yeah. And I only use it
A little teeny tiny.
in my pool
Yeah.
on the swim leash when nobody else is at home.
Is that to work on your tan? I'm guessing.
No, I was curious. I was curious to reduce more drag.
Huh.
They're Roka. They're all about being effective. All right.
Yeah.
Number 2.
All right. Well, here's number 4 in the top 5 swimming mistakes.
Okay. Oh man, see, that's a good one.
Number 4, coasting. What does that mean? This means just kind of doing a la-di-da across the pool for, whatever, 500, 1,000, 15, 2,000, whatever it is you're swimming, just kind of not really putting out much effort. Just maintaining this very easy, slow, gradual pace.
Yeah.
So now some might say, well, gee, that's exactly what I do. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do? I mean, I can't sprint 2,000. Well, that's right. But you got to mix it up. So you can't, because what you're doing now is you're just practicing swimming slowly, right? So you got to change it up. Don't be a victim of non-stop, incessant coasting.
Well, I think you use, and you can find this on Tri Gear Guru and Swim Gear Guru, you use a waterproof swim training workout book that is the book for training that I see all the time on Cool Decks. Go to Tri Gear Guru. We use it this morning. It's got workouts and it mixes it up and it keeps you fresh. You get stronger, fitter, and faster all at the same time. All right, my number two is, I guess, my number 4.
Yes.
All right. Now I like this. You and I are starting to think in the same gear. Don't swim, that you don't swim long enough continually to know you can go for 1.2 or 2.4. You don't do long endurance runs. You go out for an hour and you get in, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 or whatever you do. But you never, or you stop. I think one of the hitches in swimming or training in a lap pool, and we all do it, is that at 200, 400, 300, whatever it is, you stop and you take a break and or each 50 or each 25, you're stopping, touching.
Right. Yes.
You don't really ever swim
Non-stop.
for that continuous, right?
Yes.
So I think if it's time spent in the lap pool, I think you need to go on a regular basis that whole distance to know that on race day you have confidence jumping into that swim queue. Okay, I may not be fast, but I know I can do the entire distance under the time.
Yeah, good point. Not to be confused with the coasting issue, right? You need to get in there and train and swim at different tempos, and right, that's all part of the training. It's all part of becoming a better swimmer, a faster swimmer, a more efficient swimmer. What Steve is talking about is doing a swim where you're going to go 2 miles. Okay, you're going to swim a 30, 200 or whatever,
straight,
right?
No
straight,
stopping.
no stop. Yeah, it's the equivalent of your long bike,
which
it's
may
equivalent
seem
of a long
daunting
run.
at first, but I think you have to build up to where you can do it, or you get to race day and you can't breathe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, again, we're talking about it's not because that's going to really improve your fitness necessarily, right? I mean, it's good. It'll be good for you, of course.
Right.
But it's about what's up here. It's what's in your head, knowing that you can go that distance, right? That's what that's all about.
Right.
Outstanding.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right, number 3.
All right.
On the Kirk list, number 3.
Breathing.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a big problem for most swimmers.
You mean knowing
beginner
how to
swimmers.
breathe, learning how to breathe?
Yeah, either not breathing enough, holding your breath too long, or breathing always to one side. Now, I might get some pushback on this from some of you folks, but I think you want to practice swimming to both sides. So breathing every 3. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Breathing every 3, right? So you're going to breathe to the right, then you take a left, then you swim right, and then you breathe to the left, stroke right, and then you're going to breathe to the right.
Why?
Alternating your breathing. Well, number 1, it keeps you straighter in the water.
Yep. Which is good on race day because there are no lane lines.
Right. It keeps you straighter in the water, and it also gives you an opportunity to see what's happening on both sides of you, right? I mean, it's nice to know what is happening in open water when you're in a big group and there are people that you're approaching or that are approaching you. It's just good to have that awareness and have that sense in the open water on race day. So practice it in the pool.
Yeah, that's good. Do you think if you've swam shorter distances, we have a buddy who who swam, I think, the 100 or the 50 and the 100 in college.
He's a sprinter.
Right? We asked him about breathing, and he said, I didn't.
Right.
I didn't breathe. I can't give you any advice on breathing. We would take a deep breath and go.
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen the pros, when you watch the pros race, you see a lot of them just breathe to one side. Well, they're going much faster at a much faster cadence, right, than I would. So for me, I know I like to breathe left and right. Yeah, that's good. And for me, it's really to stay straight and to stay in a rhythm. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's my number 3.
Oh, and then, so the other thing too.
Yeah.
The other thing that it does force you a little bit when you're breathing every 3. Now I will say that when I'm really pushing hard, I'm forced to breathe, say every right stroke or whatever, and I'm turning right. Uh-huh. So there is a point where if you're going at a higher effort, you're kind of forced to take that breath. Yeah. But one of the things that's nice about taking the breath every 3 is that it does moderate the effort that you are producing or that you're putting out, right? So you're not overdoing it. It kind of like forces you to swim a little more efficiently. That's my take on it.
That's smart.
Anyway.
That's very smart. Okay, here's my number 3. We were thinking the same-ish thing, right? You had yours at 2. My number 3 is that you don't swim hard enough.
There you go.
Distance, speed, intervals to get in good enough shape for race day. So this, to your coasting point, I thought the same thing. I think too many newer triathletes, newer age groupers get in the pool and just are comfortable. In the pool, they just stay comfortable. And I don't know if it's because of fear or not knowing swim workouts or not having experience, but I think I've done all of my races with a training partner in the pool with this guy. And it's always been with a swim workout, and it's always been challenging. This morning at the end of our swim, when we finished and I touched and got on my last touch, I was gassed. We had to sit and talk for a little bit, and I don't know if you should feel like that all the time, but certainly you've got to push yourself so that you get fitter in the pool. You're not floating on race day. You got to go on race day, but you got to be fit to go for that distance on race day so that you can feel good on the swim or on the bike in the rain.
No, you had some good sets. You had some good intervals. I can tell you were pushing a little today. It was good.
You got done 5 minutes before I did. No,
it's good. All right,
number 4.
Well, that's because you got out to take pictures.
Well, I did.
This was cool. You'll have to see the. I don't know where these pictures are going to end up, but
we'll post them on the Facebook page at Multisport Mojo. We had hot air balloons go over us. Now we swim. We started at 5:30, so the sun hadn't come up yet. So we're in the water and the sun's coming up. And as the sun's coming up, 5 or 6 hot air balloons take off just cool. I don't know, a mile or 2 away from us, and it come right over the man. It was pretty cool. Had to take a picture.
Yeah, and then we looked kind of like outside the fence, and right there in the glen, there's a unicorn that was eating at the edge of the rainbow. Yeah, it was a magical morning. So the hot air balloons, that actually was true.
The leprechaun was in the water with us.
Yeah, we swam with the leprechaun. All right, here we go.
4. I'm curious.
Well, this is my number 2. We're getting to
right, for the 4th A, right?
Yes. Right. Lack of variety. Okay, lack of variety.
Yeah.
We've kind of talked a little bit about this already. Get online, find some workouts, do the workouts, do something to change it up. I've seen swimmers that pretty much do the exact same workout every time they get in the pool. Whether it's 6 sets at 300 or whatever, or a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I mean, we do that one a fair amount, but you got to change it up. Change up doing drills. Change up the intensity, the tempo. You've got to have some variety because it can become a little monotonous. There's not a whole lot of scenery change. You can't put on a movie like you can on the spin bike. So you've got to do some things for the variety, and that will improve your swimming. So don't let yourself get stuck in a rut. Find some workouts, grab a book, get online, whatever it is, whatever it takes to get some variety in your workouts.
I think I started going online to find workouts and print them, but then I realized on the very first time I printed a workout and brought it to the pool, I found why that wasn't a good idea, right? You put a poolside and it's wet in 10 seconds. So
I've seen people do it in Ziploc bags.
Okay.
I've seen people put their workout in a Ziploc bag, and maybe they throw a couple rocks in the bag so it doesn't blow away.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like you introduced me to the waterproof swim workout book, and we've got that on TriGearGuru.com, and It's killer.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Poolside, sits up on a stand, so it's easy to read. It's waterproof.
Yeah.
The sets are there.
It's
Two
great.
options on each workout. What a
Yeah.
great.
And there are a variety of workouts, so there's like the endurance sets, and then there's muscular endurance, and then there's, speed workouts and technique workouts.
It's really great.
Yeah, it is very good.
And you can mix it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my fourth. The mistake that you don't swim in your wetsuit before race day. Right.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a few. Listen, just from experience, one of the things that I see a lot on race day are people in freak mode putting on their wetsuit for the first time or second time. Or they rented it and they just don't swim in a wetsuit for training, and so you zip this thing up. Man, it's harder to breathe. And you start to get anxious because it's tight, and you are not used to not as much mobility and flexibility. You can't breathe. Maybe it fits. It's too tight up here. It's a whole other level of anxiety to getting in the water.
Those things will strangle you, I tell you.
So I think it's helpful to, even if it just means getting in a couple lap swims in your wetsuit. Which can mean it's a lot warmer because it won't be cold water. But get your wetsuit on. Don't try it on around the house and walk around because it doesn't matter. Get in the water.
Yeah.
Get in the lap pool and do a workout or two or three. And then I'm gonna give away my last one.
I bet I know what it is. So I won't say what I was gonna say. I won't steal Steve's thunder. All right.
Give us
Ready?
your number one.
Here's the number one mistake that, unfortunately, probably way too many of us are guilty of, and this is the objective. This is the goal. This is the lifelong challenge right here. So this is not something that plagues just beginner swimmers. This is really for all of us, And I know that the pros are still working on this too, because it's not really necessarily about strength. It is about your form and your technique. Number one mistake in my book that we all make as swimmers. I mean, look, we're not swimming, most of us anyway, unless your name is Andy Potts, we're not swimming in the Olympics, right? And so if you're not an Olympic swimmer, you probably have some room for improvement as far as your form and technique is concerned. So this is where a coach would come in. This is where swimming with a master's group would come in. This is where swimming with people who are better and faster than you, who know how to coach, who know what to look for, who can see where you might be able to improve your form a little bit. That's where that's really valuable. So if you find a group, find somebody to swim with, I think it can be really valuable to spend a little bit of time with people who are experts at this. It's not like you got to go do every single workout with them,
right.
but go spend a few weeks or a few months or whatever swimming as part of a master's group. It's okay if you're in the slow lane. That's where I've swam, and it's still fun. And the coaches actually kind of like that. You get a master swim coach. It's kind of like, all right, the guys that swim 100 on the 1 minute. It's kind of like, well, what am I going to tell these guys? Other than we'll meet for bagels at Einstein's when we're done. Right, the coaches actually, so take this to heart. The coaches really actually do kind of like having the newbies come in. It's kind of fun. It's like, wow, okay, here's somebody I could actually help. I can do something for this guy. Oh, wow, he's lifting his head way too much out of the water, or he needs to keep his chin down, or he needs to keep his hips up, or whatever it is, whatever that may be. They enjoy it. At least that's kind of been my experience. They really want to help somebody. And the guys down here in the fast lane, they already know how to do it. So it's really fun for the coach also to.
Is there one thing that you see predominantly that just about everybody could improve on technique wise? Is there one cardinal sin?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, no.
No, yeah.
Maybe head too high out of the water. That's really typical.
Yeah.
Pulling out too soon, right? Hips dragging, flat or not, not having any hip rotation in the water, feet in the wrong position for the kick.
A lot of things to work on, technically.
Yeah, sorry, you asked for one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, here's my...
that was more than one.
Here's my number one.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. I think your number one was great, though. Okay, my number one, that you don't do any open water swims in your
I knew that
wetsuit
was going to be
before
it.
race day.
Yeah.
Listen, race day, a triathlon swim for me is all about confidence. If you don't have confidence that you can knock this thing out, then you've got to figure out how to get this. So along with all of the swimming in the pool and the things that we've talked about, I think for me, to know that I can put on a wetsuit, I can go out into open water, and I can go from A to B and get back. Oh, I can sleep the night before now. I can sleep. I may not be as fast as the next guy. I may not, but I've been in that same situation, and it's when I get in the water, it's not going to surprise me.
You got to know you can do it.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, I knew you were going to pull that one out.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't put it on my list.
Oh no. Well, so I think, right? I mean, that's
Yes,
10-ish.
that goes right along with the wetsuit. Okay, your top two, and for me, are kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Put the wetsuit on, go out to the lake, get in the cold water, and it's actually kind of fun. It's like, wow, look how much I'm floating.
Right.
Wow, this cold water is not so cold.
Do you think? I think the cold water catches people by surprise. But I think one of the things that you hear, that I listen for. Often on race days, people getting out of the water and saying something like, wow, it wasn't as cold as I thought it was. Well, it was cold when you got in, but you just don't have the experience in the wetsuit knowing that after a couple of minutes, you're going to get comfortable. We've done Oceanside a couple of times. We were at Oceanside 2 weeks ago, and we're with my wife and my daughter, and I put on the wetsuit. We did a couple of videos, and I said, girls, let's get in the water. And they're like, yeah, no, way too cold. So we do a video. I jump in the water. We're doing how to go in the water and how to come out of the water on race day. And they're looking at me like I'm a crazy person. It's way too cold to get in the water. Guys, it's not that cold once you're in. I think knowing that on race day, you can sit in the swim queue with some calm confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've done this. I know how it's going to feel. Let's go rock this swim out. And you can look at the other guys chattering, I don't know. Oh, boy, this thing is too tight, and I can't breathe. And the water's cold, and I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that guy.
No.
Bam.
Excellent. Outstanding.
That's. I think we've celebrated National
Lots to think
Burrito
about.
Day without a burrito the best way that we can.
Let's wrap this up so we can go get our.
Let's wrap
Wrap.
this up.
Yes.
I like it. All right. Hey, listen. I've lost. No, I didn't.
Oh.
I got it right here. I'm all good. I got the close. Hey, listen. On National Burrito Day, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is the Multisport Mojo podcast. Remember to like us on Facebook at Multisport Mojo. That's all one word. Follow us on Twitter at #Multisport Mojo. And go to trygearguru.com for more content and insights and great prices on everything triathlon. And we'd like to thank our sponsors.
Taco Bell.
Today it will be Chipotle. Try Hard Triathlon